Hey everybody, welcome to Enmity Podcasting. That's right, we're releasing episode number 11 this week, along with our episode number 10, which you can find on the website at 42gaming.com. We're brought to you by Ultrasabers today, which is the the best lightsabers you can buy out there for dueling, fun, happiness, and pretend like you're Anakin, Luke, or Vader, whichever one you want to go with. Anything is good. Or Maul. I know he's popular with the kids these days, right? Right, Big?
Oh yeah.
All right. Today, this is a special cast that we've got with you because we're bringing Aikion from Reddit, a Reddit moderator, and we're going to talk Reddit with him because of how well influential it's been on this podcast and keeping us going. And we do Reddit news every week, so why not bring on somebody from Reddit? And so I'm going to let Big introduce him, and we're going to get started.
All right. Like you said, we have one of our moderators from Reddit. It is Ikion. And I did pronounce that correct, right?
Yes, Aikion, Aikiwoce, either works.
All right. Well, we always like to start off by letting our audience get to know you a little bit. So, how long have you been playing SWTOR for?
Since launch, really. Early access. Had a lot of fun with that.
Awesome. What's your main? What do you like playing?
I've got several roles that I play, but I mainly play my Scoundrel. Used to play Scoundrel Heals, now I play Scoundrel Fight or Scoundrel DPS.
Yeah, I play on operative heal. So, you think the Scoundrel DPS is viable?
Oh, it's extremely viable, and it's probably one of the most versatile DPSs that I think are in the game because you need good single target DPS. They've got a spec for that, assuming you don't get, had to be in front of a boss. Or if you need AoE or burst DPS, you got that too in there, and you can switch from. It's got the highest AoE burst potential of any class in the entire game.
Except for its
Awesome.
Republic.
You know, I might have.
So, you know, I don't want to be
No,
mean or anything, but
no, I think what he's saying is, Ignitia, I can bring my operative to start doing DPS instead of just heals.
Oh yeah, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but if you've played any other game at a high level, I mean, you should be able to do it. It's very simple rotation, priority. Once you get that down, you can crank out as much DPS as your gunslinger.
but you can get out of red circles, right?
Oh yeah, totally, man.
Yeah, see, Big
They got
can't do
tanks
that.
and
So we're gonna
I can do
we'll
it
leave
most
Big
of the
where
time.
he's at because he
it's
can
true.
heal himself through his
It's true.
stupidity as a healer. Okay, Big.
Well, well, see, the thing is, like with Brontis and her little sweeping laser beam, we have so many of the leaping classes that get killed by that, leaping back at the target, and the graphical effect not matching up with where it's at. Whereas I can be sort of standing at that 5 meter range away from him.
Oh, I gotcha. So
Don't know how many
Big.
scoundrels are not scoundrels,
What he's
sentinels.
saying is though is you have to be good, and I'm not sure that you're there yet. So we're gonna leave you in healing because you're a good healer and you can make up for your stupidity. Next question, Big. I'm just playing.
All right. Well, we know that you're in the Jedi Guild or the Jedi Guild. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? How do they go about, joining it, the Reddit community if they want to go about joining with you guys?
Anybody's really welcome to join. Just head over to our subreddit, rJeddit, message one of the moderators in game or somebody over there. They have a whole list on our sidebar. Anybody wants to come in, we allow. We don't do much PvP anymore. There are some groups in our guild that still do that, but we have several operations teams that run through, and we just started leveling again. A lot of people, so have that to do too.
What server is that on?
It's on the Shadowlands, so anybody who feels like playing on that server. Also, we have a sister guild, Sithit, over on the Empire side, and a lot of us have our alts over there. It's a little bit different atmosphere, where Jedit's
Sith
sort
it.
of like,
I like it.
yes, it's called Sithit.
I'm sorry. What was the
So
atmosphere before
it's,
I cut you off?
oh, sorry, it like the atmosphere in Jedit is we have a guild leader, we got officers, but nobody's really in charge. If you want to do something, go do it. Uh, we're pretty laid back. We'll warn you that a lot of adult conversations happen in our Mumble server and in game as well, so that might put a few people off.
Mumble.
No. No, no, no. What I would say is that because of the type of game that Star Wars is, I find that we are playing this game with a lot more of an adult audience as it is. Like I think we warned we have a Raw Dog Johnson. He was a guy. He lasted in our guild for about would you say big about 1 day before he left.
Somewhere around there.
More like
So we've
30 minutes.
memorialized him with the Raw Dog Johnson Memorial Channel, and that's where we keep all of our adult conversation in that lower channel. And it's funny because we play. I just find even with Reddit, do you find that there's a lot more of an adult atmosphere because it is a Star Wars game, and it's got a lot of lore to it that's gone back
I
what
think
30,
in
40
Reddit
years.
in general, I think in Reddit in general, if you're not one of the like front page subreddits, you're gonna find that the people that browse your subreddit are going to be a lot older necessarily, or more mature in a lot of ways than people that just flow through the mainstream and come from other sites and stuff like that. Because each community is sort of self-policing, and if you don't like that person in your community, and you're not the focus of like thousands of people being linked to you from wherever, then you're gonna have a much more tight knit and much more accepting community, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you say big? They've been really good to us at Reddit. I mean, I don't know if you want to go into that at all about, our trying to find things somewhere else.
Well, I mean, I just want to give a shout out to all the upvotes we do get on Reddit and all the support that we've gotten from there. But I mean, yeah, that's why I've stuck with it almost since beta with the subreddit of Star Wars, because it's been, I mean, just the whole self-policing. I mean, you get a post up there that's complete crap and rant, it gets downvoted pretty quick. If there's a legitimate complaint about a feature in Star Wars or lack of, therefore, it gets the attention it needs. It's not like going over to the official forums and just seeing Troll Nation over there. That's why I'm almost never over there, except unless I'm over on the class forums looking over like certain specs and stuff. I mean, wouldn't you guys agree? Well, I know you guys only been around there for a few months in the Reddit, but have you
I'm
guys noticed
addicted.
that as well as far as?
I'm completely addicted to Reddit right now, especially in the fact that self-policing is amazing, and there's a lot of good people on there. That I mean, like I've noticed that the people on Reddit are also very charitable. They try to help people out. They're the first, like when someone puts up a little subreddit where it's like, "Hey, I'm a new player. I'm returning," or something like that. Can I get some help? And they're the first people out there that are going like, "Yeah, hey man, this is how it goes," and it's a very, very good community within the actual Reddit itself. I thank everybody who's participates on that Reddit because it's been very, very helpful indeed.
Now you said that that's something that kind of just happens because it's not one of the main subreddits, right, Acheon? But have you found that as a moderator, you've had to, and maybe not names at all, but have you found that you've had to maybe put your internet foot down at any point in time?
Drop the gavel.
Yeah, there are very few posts that we remove on a regular basis. A lot of times we let the downvote system do its work. Main thing is like image macros, stuff like that. If it's based in SWTOR, they put a lot of work into it. It's got a picture from SWTOR. It's relevant to what's going on. Then it'll stay. But if you just take a scumbag Steve and you want to post it on there, no, it's getting put in the trash bin. And if you start verbally attacking anybody else like that, we will probably clamp down on that. We got an auto moderator bot that if you report something twice, if it receives two reports in a certain time period, it gets automatically kicked up to us for review, and then we take care of it. And that happens maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's great that you guys are on it like that, and the fact that there's something that kind of I wouldn't say well, I would say yeah, it protects the community in a way because not that we need protecting, we're all adults using the internet, but in a way, it's nice that we can downvote it, but there's also you guys in the back saying, we like this community as much as the users.
Yeah, we're very hands off though.
Yeah. Which is nice. I mean,
Oh, it is. I mean, they came up with there was a problem, I'd say what 8 months ago, when there were just so many screenshots getting posted up that they came up with a good solution, having the screenshot Friday, where everyone can get to post their looks throughout the week, and because I mean, it's great seeing all the screenshots of Star Wars and stuff like that, but when you're getting bombarded with it, it's hard to find the other info. So where were you on that flag? Did you like them? Changing it up with the new way, or were you fine with people just posting it as is?
I was one of the idea people behind the Fashion Friday sort of thing. One of our former moderators, Gold EGL, was one of the ones that got it off the ground. But definitely we noticed it was a problem. We had a problem too with recently with guild posts, and not just recently. We've had it for a while. People looking for guilds, people advertising their guilds. That's one of the other things that we just removed straight out because a post isn't on a subreddit isn't going to tell you enough information about a guild to make a decision whether you want to join them or not.
I agree with that. It kind of goes with the whole I just got into game for the first time. I got bombarded with a guild invite, with guild invites left and right. I don't know if anybody else just gets genuinely bothered with that. I don't like it because I don't know enough about your guild, and half the time that tells me all I need to know, that your guild was just looking for numbers. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and for the longest time, we actually maintained a wiki of all the guilds, and it became to the point where the guilds that weren't active anymore couldn't be removed because we didn't know which ones they were, which one who was active and who wasn't.
Yeah.
And so Gian Cool had the really good idea to create our SWTOR guilds. Or no, I think somebody else created that, and we ended up taking it over.
So
It's hard to understand.
no, actually, it's not hard to understand because I think what you're trying to say is that sometimes the guilds had been up for so long, and especially with the ups and downs that this game has seen, so the guilds sort of died off, and you guys didn't know which ones they were, and like, how do you moderate that?
And think
Yeah,
about it, it's not just one server; it's multiple servers as well, and then multiple factions. So yeah, that definitely would be a hard way to.
I guess one of the ways is to look if it says we're a server from this server and that server no longer exists. Like, I guess that would have been one way, right? But then they could be on
Well,
a
the
new
list was
server now.
yeah, the list was recent from 4 months ago, but still, even
Oh.
then, not all the guilds are active and around. They might have merged and.
yeah, we tried to set up our SWTOR trade too, so that people could like trade stuff without like, oh, I need a Best Buy cartel coin cards, or oh, I want to sell Revan's mask in the main channel, and that sort of flopped, I think.
Oh, so yeah, I tried that out as well too, and it just wasn't as active. So I think that was just the issue.
Oh, so you guys, what you're saying is you guys try things, and when they flop, you just let them go away. But that's cool. You guys are still trying things. I think that shows like an evolution. Like you got to try things. Even a business will tell you you got to give it the whole heave-o, and try. So that's cool that you guys are trying to evolve. What does work, what doesn't work. Um, I guess that is really important, even with a podcast as small as a small podcast like ours. We're always trying to evolve. Where there's that larger subreddit where you guys are also trying to evolve. Anything that you guys are
Yeah, I
working
don't
on
know.
now, you guys can talk about, or is everything
I
sort of
think
under
all
the
of our
wraps?
I think all of our test features got pushed out. We have a test subreddit, our SWTOR test, where all the new stuff will be put up first. It may have a few features that might not have made it to the final our SWTOR, but we try stuff.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I think. I'll just say I think a bunch of times. Why is my grammar so bad once I get on this podcast, right? Like, I think I've mentioned it in the last podcast. I said and
So
five
I better
times
call
in
the
a row,
grammar police.
right?
They're on their way to your house. You better
I,
watch out.
I'm surprised they haven't attacked me yet. Like, but it's coming. I know. With popularity, the grammar police will come, and I'll be better than by then. One thing I was going to say is that I think that you guys have I think it's like a noob or returning players, right? And I think that's the funniest one when you get the guy who's like, "I'm brand new to Reddit, and I wanted to know what is this, and this," and then half the community is just like, there's a new player subreddit. It's kind of at the top. You can go check that out. But I like that feature. I've gone
Believe
over
it or
it.
not, that was one of the problems. A lot of the we were getting them posts, and we had to kept dealing with them on a one by one basis. Oh, there's a sidebar. So instead of just having to deal with it on a one by one basis, we made a flag that we put on them, the link flare, and then the bot automatically responds to the link flare with a post that contains all the information that's currently in that sidebar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty handy. I'd say nine time out of 10 it ends up working out. You know, every so often it's a returning player that has a specific question about a class. But I mean, yeah, I think that is really handy feature. And doesn't it actually sort out some of the questions? Like sometimes it will show them all the questions, sometimes it will show them a few answers. Or did you guys just change it so it shows them all the answers now?
Changes. I think it's all the answers now. I don't know. I've seen the code for it. I haven't looked at it recently, what it looks like. But yeah, that bot's pretty handy, and it auto tags a lot of the posts too in SWTOR. So like screenshot posts will automatically get a tag, and so we don't have to do all that much moderation for the stuff to be hidden.
Yeah, that's the Star Wars helper bot if you've ever seen that around.
No, what is that? I don't know if I've actually. Oh, is it the? Oh, that's the bot you're talking about. It's called Helper Bot.
Yep, it's helper bot.
Yeah,
So that's what actually.
and GN Cole's also got a couple other bots. Like I don't know if you noticed that, like before the BioWare people can even post patch notes over here, or like it'll go up and then it'll be on the sub, and that's all GN Cole doing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a fight in the community who used to be able to get that up first to get the upvotes for that. But yeah, I do like that the helper bots came along and automated that just because it's instant. You don't have 4 or 5 posts saying, oh, here's the newest patch notes.
Wait,
Yeah,
people
because then
used to try to get the patch notes up just to get upvote. Like that's funny. I like
yep.
that. You didn't do that. Don't try to steal from the developers. Come on, guys. Post a picture of your guy dancing.
And then we would get flack when I removed one of them.
Really?
Yeah, whoever had it removed would be like, "Why'd you remove mine? He's got 30 comments, but I had it first."
So you're saying this new system works better?
New system works way better.
All right, good to know. Yeah, I actually like it, and so I think that I think maybe just like a general Reddit thing in general, I don't understand how to get the little picture up. Me and Big were talking about that. You know the picture. So I think yours had like a picture from our website that goes up there, but it's actually, if you look at it, it's like a game card picture. Like a game time picture or something. And so yeah, we've been having issues, but we're working on it.
Oh yeah, you gotta talk to Dolphy or Gaddock Teague to figure out how they do it, because we actually had created an icon for podcasts and we got yelled at by you guys because apparently you want your images to show, so we reversed that change.
Hey, that wasn't us.
Yeah, that
But I
wasn't
do
us.
understand
Yeah, that
when
was
we have
before
that.
us.
All the other podcasters like had a fit about it.
Well, we'll just
We'll
say
take
right
it.
now we're not the other
We'll take yours.
podcasters, and I think that just shows we're not as diva. No, I'm just kidding. Do it, Gaddock Teague, they've all been good. Tony Cast, they got us up. I'm just playing right now.
Yeah, I met Gaddock Teague, very nice guy in person, even though he was grilling Adam Horowitz at the time, but yeah, he was fairly decent to the guy.
It's funny how us as Star Wars: The Old Republic, they're so let's talk about other games like Blizzard. They go out and they have like once a year you can go and talk to them. SWTOR is basically one of the most open doors MMOs or even games that I've seen. They want your opinion, and you know what? I would say that they get it a lot, especially at those venues. They really get grilled, and they're up for it every time. I love that. I will say that's one thing I do love about it. And I love the coverage on Reddit for when that does happen because they do get grilled.
Oh yeah, they get. It's just like I went to one of the cantinas in New York, and that's where I met Gaddock Teague, and I talked to Eric Musco for a little bit. And then if you listen to the audio posted of the Q&A post, I asked about a blaster that was not available, really very restricted, and it was featured on their site. And now they're adding that blaster in, and it's named the Reddit Aikion Blaster.
I love that.
That's awesome.
It's funny that they remember it, And I think, Reddit definitely has its place. I wonder if they realize that Reddit is probably better forums than what they have at the moment because a lot of the people who are going to go to Reddit searched in order to find Reddit. And then the other ones, they're just sort of using the forums that are available for them. Like, what's the easiest way to bitch? Oh, let's go on the forums really quick. Whereas us, I found it too big, but with these, you really had to go out and find it, so you kind of want to keep the community good,
I will tell you, I talked to Eric Musco about this at the subreddit, and I talked to several of the other the Bioware people that were there, and they all really enjoyed the subreddit. And Musco let slip that they have a meeting every week where they discuss like what goes on in the forums, what goes on, the community sites. He says like the top posts of Reddit, that is something that's discussed every week in their little meeting.
We have a meeting every week before the podcast where we go over Reddit and we talk about everything that's going on in Reddit. And then we do something called that we do Reddit news. If anybody's listened before, we do it for every single one of our podcasts. And it is basically what is popular and what do we enjoy that's going on in Reddit. So one thing is, because Reddit has sort of embraced us and allowed us to get a following, we wanted to sort of give back. And that's why we do that. And plus, why it's the best place to find information right now. It is hands down. If you want to know
It's
about
great.
SWTOR, it is the best place to be.
I talked to Courtney Woods then at the thing. She said she can't show Musco anything because he'll say to her, "Seen it 3 days ago on Reddit."
That's funny because, like, not that we're anywhere close to them, but like Ignitia will come and he'll start a story. Did you hear about the Shadow that did? Yeah, I saw it. He did False Emperor by himself like 3 days ago. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He put a movie up.
Yeah, so that same conversation happens at BioWare headquarters.
That's good to know. We're not BioWare. But we're close. Did you hear that, everybody? I'm just kidding. Joke.
You're on the way.
We're on the way.
Exactly. So anything else interesting about Eric or your conversations with him, or?
Very nice guy. I don't have anything to say bad about him. I don't know. I think he's given a lot of flack, and he's just trying, and the whole community team really is just trying to get the information to you and get the information from you and make it a better game because of that.
He's the face
Yeah,
of the
I mean,
company.
he is. I mean, he's really helped turn around their communications from BioWare in the beginning, in the launch and around those, 1.2, 1.3 days. I mean, I think the community kind of felt that, we just didn't really have that strong communications, and then we had those different, reps for each of the areas, and now they just kind of consolidated down and, sent him up as community manager. So I definitely applaud him for his work and putting up there. I mean, I know he's probably got to deal with a lot of trolls and so, yeah, definitely if you get a chance to, meet him or send him your thanks, go ahead and do that. He's put in probably a lot of hard work and dealt with a lot of effort. Wouldn't you
He's
guys agree?
probably the reason for this game's turnaround. Not that I ever felt like this game really needed a turnaround. I've enjoyed it from the start. But when you talk about a game that wasn't polished on release, I would say that he is a big reason, and the people on the forums are a big reason to making sure that this game is turned into a game that we can all enjoy. Um, so, I love the fact that he's become as active within the community as he is, and hopefully one of these days I'll be able to go to one of those community cantinas. Sorry, I would love to
Yeah.
go. I think I'm gonna travel next one. I'm just gonna have to go.
Yeah, apparently it's cheaper to rent out a bar and get everybody liquored up and have three of your developers there than it is to rent out booth space at a lot of places. Like the New York one happened at the same time at Comic-Con.
And was it still
And
really
so
popular?
to rent out it was like the whole bar was full of people. I'd say there was at least 100 some people there at that bar.
That's awesome.
And Drew Karpyshyn actually dropped in. I don't know if you know who that is, but I didn't realize it at the time because the X-Men that were near me were making too much noise.
Yeah, our other moderator, I'm not our other moderator, but our other panelist, Talons, who couldn't make it today because he's at work, and he actually, he said he was talking to a bunch of the developers because he was dressed up as a Sith at the he was at the Seattle one, and he was
Seattle.
like dressed up as a Sith, and I guess they loved him. So he's hilarious, right? When he comes on, and if you ever watch the COE, he's the one with the mask, and like he tries to talk through it. Sometimes we're like, "Come on, Talons, take off the dang mask so that we can all understand you." But yeah,
There were several Sith Lords there in attendance.
that's awesome. Yeah, he's our resident cosplayer, and we're all going to be going to the Portland Comic Con this upcoming year.
And don't forget, his wife showed up as a slave girl as well, so
Yeah,
that
right.
had added a little bit of uniqueness to
Ooh.
there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
She was on a
Mhm.
chain. His wife was on a chain, and he was like walking around like, why, my wife wouldn't do that.
No, no. I don't
My
think
wife
I'd
be
get my
like, you
wife
want
to
to
do
put a
that.
chain on me? I'm gonna kick your butt.
What about slave collar?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was. I
Mm,
I believe so. I think it was a slave collar with a chain.
yeah,
You know what? I'll have
Nice.
to throw the pictures up on when we post this to the Reddit. I'll have
yeah.
to
We're
include some
gonna.
of the pictures on there so people.
I'll put it like right up here so that when they're looking through, all of a sudden it'll be Talons and his wife, and like he's not bashful. He loves it. He loves the
Yeah,
attention.
actually, when Tor Wars, you know, the horrorwars.com, when they actually posted about that specific community cantina, they actually used his picture, him and his wife's picture on their website. So it was pretty cool.
That's our Talons.
yep.
That's very cool.
All right, so moving on. So, what is? I know we talked a little bit about it, but what is actually your role specifically over at the Star Wars subreddit? You know, what do you do most of your time over there?
Lately I've been just creating the graphics that go up and tagging a few posts that are in the unmoderated queue. I don't know if you noticed the link filtering system we have at the top, where you could filter out just the screenshots and just the question posts if you want. That's all done by the flare that's tagged onto the post, and not all that happens automatically. But like I make the sidebar images too, like the little Galactic Starfighter one that's up there.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. And I think you mentioned earlier, you did the one that's kind of in the background, that's kind of hidden, that most people might not notice. As you're scrolling up and down, it stays there in the center. I like that one.
Yeah, I also made the little Republic Imperial default logo that's next to every post if it's not tagged.
Yeah, you guys ruined me a little bit for some of the other subreddits. When I'm going around, I always look for that filtering system on those ones. It's like, damn it, I'm not on the Star Wars subreddit, so I can't use a filtering system.
It's pretty nice. I got to talk to see if we can get into like a podcast one. I don't know if you add podcasting, but it's fairly easy to add extra ones. I think we might have ran out of extra space because it's all done via the sidebar. Because that's the only way to inject code is via the sidebar and the CSS page, and the sidebar is really the only way that you can. The CSS restyles it, and the sidebar actually contains all the anchors and stuff for it.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm sure us and the other podcasters would appreciate it very much if you guys were able to work that in there somehow.
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's like I said, it's just if we have space in the sidebar because it usually tends to be very full.
Yeah, you guys done some amazing stuff with the Reddit. It just looks fantastic. I mean, like Big was saying, every time I go onto a different Reddit, it doesn't have a filtering system, or it's it just doesn't feel complete compared to what I've been experiencing with this SWTOR subreddit.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff. I'm telling you what, I'm gonna lay that at Gene Cool. Did a lot of the CSS and background work. I did Flare too, if you notice that, and I got all the images together for the links. Oh, well, no, some of them, and the rest of them came from GM Cool.
Very nice indeed.
Yeah, in fact, the whole thing's fairly automated. We don't really have to do that much on a daily basis.
Pretty educated throughout this podcast. I have to. Wow, I didn't know there was that much that went behind Reddit, and I thank you for coming. And at the same time, the next time you talk to Musco, send him our way. I I'm dying to get like 10 minutes of grill time with that guy.
Well,
Definitely.
I have Musco's private email address, but I can't give that out because it came from my guildie. She was one of my guild members. I don't know if you remember back at the start of the subreddit, there was I'm trying to figure out how to explain it, but there was a mentally disabled person that was playing SWTOR, and the doctor came, or not the doctor, the psychologist came to the subreddit asking for advice on how to reach the student. She actually ended up creating a game account,
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was like a
and she
three-part
connected with her.
post.
Yes, and she's actually in my guild, and she actually met Musco at one of the cantina events, and Musco made up a question that he asked just for her so that he could give her a prize during the Q&A, and somebody else got it. Because it wasn't really a question. It's like, who traveled the farthest to get here? And he thought, well, she came from, wherever. It's from Norway, I can tell you that. But somebody ended up coming from Australia.
Well, that just shows there's
Freaking
always
Aussie
that
state.
one guy,
Always.
right?
Yep, there's always that one guy.
We got that resident
Always that one guy
tryhard,
ruins it.
Ignitia, but
I try hard.
But yeah, Musco is very nice. I haven't taken the email in him yet via that, but I do have methods of contact.
So I think the final question that that I have for you before you give if you have like just a little spiel before you end the night is Big has a saying that he likes to say here in our guild, and he said Reddit likes Reddit and kittens. So how are you? Do you love kittens? Or do you really love kittens? Is I think the question.
Well, I think there's two sides to Reddit. I think there's the side of Reddit that likes kittens, and the side of Reddit that likes boobs and bacon.
Okay, so what you're saying is if the kitten had
They're
a
not mutually
lightsaber,
exclusive, though.
it would work better in the
Exactly.
SWTOR subreddit.
Yes, there was
Okay.
that comic that got posted last week with the kittens and the Sith Lord.
Well, yeah, and that's had like what? It was almost up to 300 upvotes. That's the most upvotes I think I've seen on anything on that subreddit in quite a while.
All right, Big, you heard it here. Work on it. We need a picture of a kitten with a lightsaber. All right, and that's how we become famous. All right.
Yeah, add some bacon
boobs,
in
you're
there
saying?
too, and you'll be right to the top.
All right,
On a
and some
female.
bacon.
Gotta-
Maybe it's
gotta make
frying
sure it's a
bacon on the
female, too.
lightsaber. There you go. That's it. We're famous now. Get it done.
I'll be working on it now.
All right, so we have a kitten frying bacon with a lightsaber. It is we've heard it from Aikion here, and that is how you become famous. It's from a moderator. We're good. I'm talking like 700 upvotes, if it's even possible. It's going viral, is what I'm saying. So now enough with the joking. Aikion, did you have anything else you wanted to just any like finishing touches? Shout outs
And
even.
shout out.
I mean, I've already, said Musco's a great guy. People give him way too much flack. Every once in a while, he has a heel to full moment, but for the most part, he's a nice guy. And
I
people
love
shouldn't
that.
give as
That
much
was great.
Yeah, Courtney Woods, very nice too. Especially, she's a lot more fun once she gets a few drinks in her. Talk to Adam Horowitz, that guy too at Bioware. He was a very nice guy. He was getting questions all the time from several Russian people while Gaddock Teague was talking to him too, but he maintained his cool throughout the whole thing. Great guy at Bioware. Just gotta give a shout out to him too. My guild, I love Jedit and the people that I run with on a regular basis. So shout out all them, and that's really all I got really.
Well, hey, thank
and
you for
yeah,
being
definitely
on.
GN Cool.
Yeah, Gian, cool.
Yeah, GN Cool, definitely. He does a lot of stuff, and I don't think he gets nearly enough credit for it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Shout out to Gian Cool. He's been a great addition to the SWTOR subreddit.
Well, hey, thank you for being on,
Yeah,
and we really appreciate it. Like I just know from my last thing that I want to say is that if you ever feel like you want to come back and just say something, even if it's like Rondo, you were acting like an idiot the other day and you said something I didn't like, I'm cool with that. We'll talk about it. I say things that are stupid all the time. Ignicio,
It's true. It's true.
any last words, Ignicio?
yeah, no problem.
This subreddit has been built completely for the community. So those who are listening, go to Reddit, use it. They work really, really hard to actually give you a very, very good tool to use. It's a great community altogether in its own right. Have fun with it.
That was some good words.
And always head over to 42gaming.com where you can either buy your cartel coins to help support this website, or you can actually buy your game time cards from there as well.
Or buy a lightsaber.
Or
Lightsabers
lightsaber
are
as well.
fun. Ultrasabers.com through our website. Hit it up. Hey, and everybody else, just remember, keep that it's red, it's dead. Enjoy your SWTOR week.